Hello, hello. Welcome to our live stream. This is Sunday, I believe, and thank you for joining us in the live stream. This is Imtiaz, your thought partner to build, deploy, and sell AI agents. Today, we're going to be talking about a couple of things. As you know, this live stream is an experimental live stream. I try to test a lot of ideas as well as introduce you to different topics in the AI space. Uh, so the goal of the live stream is for not only to ideate on topics, but also encourage you to also share your insights in terms of what you're finding useful using AI technology, etc. Now we have a lot of topics to cover. Don't worry. And if you're joining in, make sure you put in the comment where you're from and what AI solution you are excited to build. Okay. So, and by the way, if you can hear me, put up one in the comment and we will get started. I'm going to set things up. While I set things up, just feel free to add anything in the comments. So we're going to be talking about a couple of things that has transpired over the last week or so. Things are changing rapidly in the AI space. People moving out of companies, people joining companies, uh, and there's a lot of things going on. And also, not only that, OpenAI, as you know, they released the new advanced voice capability. So we're going to be testing that out as well. I personally think that the voice is great to help you ideate on different things, topics, etc. So we're going to test it out. It looks like it has a couple of features to test out. So yeah, give me one sec. Let's see, ChatGPT. So, okay, let's go ahead. All right, so I'm in the OpenAI application, the ChatGPT application. So if you go to ChatGPT, you'll notice they now have the advanced voice feature. If you haven't played around with this, guys, this is a game changer. I mean, I've seen videos of people playing like guitar, and the assistant is helping the person tune the guitar as well as give them feedback. I've seen people learn languages. I've seen people use it as uh, some kind of like a meditation coach or emotional support coach or something like that. So this is great. So great thing is they have emotion capabilities, so they can help you if you're going through some stuff because it understands emotions. Let's ask the voice assistant. All right, what are your capabilities? I didn't quite. Okay, let's try again. What are your capabilities?
As Revelator, your AI podcast co host, I can help by answering questions, discussing topics on AI agents and technology, and asking you insightful questions to draw out more information during our discussions. I'm here to provide knowledgeable insights.
Okay,
Keep the
Revelator.
conversation.
Hold up.
I'm here when you need me. Let me know whenever you're ready to dive into a topic or have a question.
Got it. Okay, so as you can see, it already knew what I was, it already knew from past conversations. So it has context and memory. So it's actually training as we're talking to these assistants, right? So that means it's taking our voice, it's taking our data, and it's fine tuning every day. So it's able to understand some of the challenges that I'm facing. And you could think about that for yourself as well. Yeah, some of the challenges you're facing. The more you talk to this assistant, the more it understands you. It can pronounce your name. It can do a lot of great things, which is great. I mean, I'm a big advocate of, specializing your machine learning models so that it actually helps you, it understands you. But you have to understand a very important thing is um, owning your data. A lot of you guys just want to use cool tech, but do not invest in owning your data, because that again is that important piece. If you're building if you're building companies, if you're building softwares, you have to understand the technology is great. You have to move to a point where eventually you want to create your own vector database. You want to start moving away from using big company technology. So as you know, one of the things that I don't really believe in is AGI. I honestly think that you know a lot of companies pushing for AGI, they're not going to be successful, because I think at the end of the day, we're going to eventually own our data. We're going to find that nice balance where we using the big LM models, the cool voice assistants, the cool text assistants, produced by these big companies, and then we can eventually help businesses. We can help ourselves. We can create vector databases for ourselves, and that again, it goes back to my point of owning your data, organizational general intelligence, or perhaps specialized intelligence for yourself. Every one of you have a specialized intelligence, right? Or insight. And you want to I mean, the goal is to use the LM models, and also develop your specialized intelligence. uh, Now, you probably read my LinkedIn article I posted a while ago, and I talk about this interesting time that we're living in. Okay, because think about this: we are in this. Okay, one
It
sec.
sounds like you're highlighting a crucial point about the evolving role of AI in our lives, especially in the context of personal data ownership and specialized intelligence. By focusing on owning our data and developing our own specialized AI models, we can tailor AI technologies to our specific needs. This approach can empower individuals and businesses to leverage AI in a way that aligns with their values and objectives. How
All
do you
right,
think this shift?
Revelator, stop. It can be annoying at
Got it.
times when you're talking with these voice assistants. They keep interrupting you. So in the prompt itself, you have to specify when they could talk and when they should not talk. So that's important. So the goal is, we're seeing the rise of general AI intelligence and the emergence of specialized AI agents. So this dual development is completely reshaping how we approach work, learning, and innovation. So you might be good at maybe coding, but you're probably not good at certain other things. Or perhaps you're good at business and marketing, but you're not good at Excel. That probably scares you a little bit. Now this is the equalizer, because general AI intelligence can really help you, like what I call these assistants, right? These assistants are kind of like your teachers or mentors, because they can help you understand concepts really easily. Like you can if you're trying to learn maybe playing an instrument, or if you're trying to learn how to maybe use Excel or use any kind of technologies in AI. So this is actually, it helps me as well. Like every day I'm just learning something new. And what we're going to eventually see is the value is going to be when you are augmenting your special knowledge with the general intelligence. Okay, and that's where you need to also think about creating your company, or maybe helping businesses with these kind of technology, so they can develop their own database. Because I think at the end of the day, that's the real sauce. So that's your biggest asset. Don't forget, whether there's a shiny object syndrome everywhere, okay, everything's going to come back to your prompt and data. So this is key.
You're emphasizing an essential.
All right, so let's see. All right, by the way, if you guys can hear me, just make sure you put a one in the comment. If you have any questions, if you've used the voice assistant, let me know how you like it. I personally, I think there's some still some flaws and stuff like that that needs to be tailored out a little bit. But I just like it. It's really cool. It's very fast, very responsive. So if you haven't played around with it, definitely I encourage you to do so. But let's go back here to generative AI. Okay, everybody's excited about AI. Everybody's like wants to jump in on the newest AI trend. This is cool. AI has been around for years. Generative AI is the new form of AI where you can generate new content on the fly. But this is basically the start now. The journey begins here but doesn't finish here. We're actually gonna have to move towards self-learning AI. Okay, so AI can generate data, but what if it takes your feedback and your insights and it can learn and continuously develop itself? Okay, you start off with a simple AI solution, then you create an assistant for yourself perhaps that helps you get better and better, and then as it's getting better and better, it's getting specialized, right? So if you are a specialist in any area, now you could think about this, how you can basically take advantage of ML or agents or assistants, etc. How you can take this even further than everybody else uh, is by understanding your superpower. Okay, identify your niche. Maybe you excel at supply chain optimization or have an uncanny ability to predict market trends. So gather knowledge, collect your expertise, your SOP, your methodologies and insights. This is your secret sauce. Okay, no matter what people say, everything is going to come back to you uh, understanding more about yourself. Okay, the more these AI agents or AI things come out, the more you have to go within and ask yourself, hey, how can I cut through the noise and how can I truly use these technologies to develop my own superpower? And so collaborate with AI. Okay, that's the key. Use AI to structure your knowledge, create models, develop algorithms. So if you haven't created your custom AI model, you should be doing this immediately. I believe OpenAI just increased. Uh, I think I saw a post where you have until October 31st. You can fine tune your OpenAI models absolutely free. So you can use one of their models, put your data, and then fine tune your models. You can do that. You can also use vector databases. So you should start now. Okay, the time is now to start developing that insight, that whether it's for your business, whether it's for yourself, start gathering that data sets and start moving away from using big data. I mean, sorry, the big company LM models and creating your own LM models, creating your own databases. Okay, because that's really where the value is. So once you understand and identify the value, it's working. Start moving away and start creating a product. So you are more specialized in that sense. And yeah, don't be afraid to learn new things. It's a wild west at this point, but uh, you have to understand that AI is now your superpower. It can help you streamline tasks. You can use agents, assistants, or perhaps automations to build products, services, or solutions. First, think about how you can help yourself. So that's the first thing, right? If you struggle with some task, whether it's content creation, whether it's perhaps documenting, writing emails, whatever the case is, I know that I'm really bad at writing emails. Even a lot of you guys think I'm a coder. I'm actually not a coder. I actually uh, I used to be a data analyst. I worked a lot with Excel. Eventually, one day, that was like, I would probably say 9 years ago, I was like sitting in the office doing some data analysis, and I saw my coworker always like he's doing the same things, but he always sitting at his desk playing video games. And I was always curious, like, how did you get this thing done faster? And the charts, the visualizations, it just looks so cool. And he introduced me to Python and coding. And ever since then, I started to use it but not necessarily like other developers, because what he showed me was a very interesting hack. Because back then we had Stack Overflow. I don't think we have it anymore, but we had Stack Overflow where people can basically, if they had any problems, they'll write a question there, and there'll be other developers putting the code there, so people can just use it. So you can just copy paste code just for your specific use case. You're not really writing, and it's leverage. It's helping me solve the problem. But I've never been like really that developer that's crossing the T's or put the I's and stuff like that. It's never my thing. Like, because I just want to use it to actually solve a problem. And I think the AI is just the perfect time, where it helps people like me, or maybe it's you as well, who just wants to solve a problem, who's very pragmatic. So what it does, it helps you iron out everything else, right? So if your coding is not smooth, let AI iron it out. If you don't even know how to code, if you just have an idea, AI can actually give you the code to now take that idea into an actual application. So this is where AI assisted coding comes in. This is another interesting trend that's coming out. People are building apps, agents, assistants, everything, maybe in a coffee break, right, in their phone. You can use replit agents. So this is interesting time we're living in. So it just comes down to what idea or insight you have, and how quickly can you put this out into the marketplace, right? Quickly put it out, rapid deployment, and then also basically get feedback, test it. If it starts working, start training, start specializing on it. So that's where machine learning is going to help you, and we have a step-by-step plan for this. All right, so this is not definitely nothing to be scared about. Most people start backwards, like with complex niche frameworks. Well, I encourage you to actually start with the problem, and then you can actually create a simple workflow that solves the problem with AI. Okay, you can think about input, process, output, the simple generative AI workflow. Start putting that out into paper. Start understanding what APIs are available for solving this. Once you have an understanding of the problem and the simple solution, you can then add layers to it. Start creating products that you can put out to the marketplace, like a app. Then you can do AI assistant app. Then you can do agents. That requires machine learning. Unfortunately, most people don't know machine learning, right? So uh, but that's fine. It's you got to start somewhere. Okay, but understand that there's going to be uh, there's going to be a lot of opportunities. Okay, so it's just a matter of like you understanding where you feel the most connected to, right? We have two new business models that you can take advantage today. You can create your AI assistant app. So something like a Chat GPT or something like Claude, if you played around with it. I also encourage you guys to actually take inspiration from what all these companies are doing, right? If you work with Claude, just just pay attention to the interface. Just pay attention to how the model gets better and better every day. A lot of you guys don't even look at that, but I encourage you, the first day you started playing around with the LM models, or your interface, how was that experience compared to how it is now, right? Do you feel the difference? Do you feel like they know you a little bit more? Something like a Google search, like it just knows you a little bit more. Like you don't have to repeat the same things over and over again. Well, that's the beauty of machine learning. That's the beauty of all the fine tuning and stuff that's happening in the background. It's a little bit technical, but understand the more you engage with these applications, the more ideas you're going to get. Okay, so I always encourage you to be um, to create products and not to be owned by products. Okay, so understand that they are using machine learning to understand what you really want and then giving you that. So you have to be careful what you feed into the model, and then also eventually move out of it at some point, because again, that's you have to control what data you want to share. That's very important. So AI assistant app, that's the one aspect of it. Then the AI agent agency. So that's more on the business side. So if you work with businesses, the corporations, they have different challenges. And what they generally want is uh, like you to align with their process, right? Not to change anything on their process or their workflow, but make it more efficient, right? So if you a great example is Cursor, right? Cursor is AI startup that used VS Studio Code. VS Studio Code is a IDE or a development platform where you can write code and actually see the code and test it and all that kind of stuff. It's open source, meaning it's free, it's available. So Cursor recognized that everybody's using it. All they had to do was apply LM models to help debug the code and then perhaps use AI assisted coding and all that kind of. So they just integrated an like a LM into the environment. So that's a good example. Like you're aligning with the process, what people are already doing. So businesses actually want something like that, where you can come in and see how you can help streamline their process. So identify their process, and you can then create a LM solution, maybe an assistant solution, and then eventually an agent solution. Okay, so it takes a couple of steps, but what business really want is to see something in action, and also whether you can streamline the process. Now, for a consumer facing app, again, uh, if you want to get right into it, understand that you can build chat gpt for anyone, like a chat gpt uh, kind of app for anyone, specialized for like any use case. It's consumer facing, it solves a specific problem, and you can go out there anywhere, any community, any look around your friend circle and see what kind of what value you can provide with AI assistant apps. And these apps could be anything, right? Just maybe like similar to ChatGPT, but it has, it provides some kind of information. I would always encourage you to incorporate some form of RAG. Okay, if you're not familiar with RAG, it's retrieval augmented generation. Okay, so you have the base LM model. So most of these LM applications are trained on everything on the internet. So that's basically the general intelligence. It's still going to be the statistical average. It's very watered down. So you have to ask yourself, if everybody can you get this information from ChatGPT, how is this really specialized? So that's really important, because that's going to sustain you for the long term. A lot of companies come and go because they're just another ChatGPT, but you have to think about the long term game here as well. Is like, okay, what kind of data do you have access to? Okay, what kind of APIs do you have access to? Because really, remember this, I already told you the data is the sauce. Some of the data are maybe behind locked doors you don't have access to, but if you understand that some people actually need that data, you can go out there and get it. You're the only person with that access, and now you have maybe put this in a vector database, augment this in your application, and that becomes a little bit specialized, the RAG part. You could use search APIs to bring in search data as well. That's another form of RAG. Then eventually you can fine tune the models, etc. But the goal, again, is to start somewhere with the problem. Okay, you might not even need an assistant. You could just go in with an app. If you want to learn more how to build apps with AI assistant coding without knowing any coding at all, uh, I'll put a link in the description. Check it out. I'm going to put a lot of resources where you can actually go out there and use a couple of tools like Google Colab, Replit. I'm actually going to have a workshop right after this where I'm going to show people how to use Replit environment. Okay, Replit is really easy coding environment, but you're not necessarily writing code, because now you have Replit agent that can actually, you just describe what you want, an app or whatever, it's going to create it for you. It's going to suggest to you what, any enhancements you need to make, and then you're just going to talk to it. It's almost like having a developer or maybe product manager or something in your back pocket, so they're working to get this app up and running for you. But you still need to know what languages to use, or perhaps maybe a low code solution where you understand the code base to some extent so you can maybe debug if necessary. But it has come to the point where you don't need coding at all, but you just need to talk to these agents in this environment. So Replit is a great because as soon as you build the app, you can deploy it in the same environment. I understand that deployment is hard. I mean, I didn't have that experience deploying because I don't come from a web development background. But when I started playing around with Replit, I realized, well, this is great because when you actually deploy Replit, you get a address, like a site address, right? So you can now share that site address to your friends, people, and they can give you feedback. And you can create some kind of a login interface. So basically, if you want maybe more feedback, or perhaps you want to store some kind of data, perhaps the threads. Okay, there's a lot of ways you can actually start. Now you can imagine you can start creating your application, start fine tuning, start doing a lot of cool stuff with it. So yeah, so the opportunity is endless. So definitely try to work on pick one of these two solutions, and this will be great for you to so work on like a long term solution for yourself. Okay, so we covered a lot in our previous live stream, so I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I think the goal also here is to demonstrate that AI is not anything new. It's it's uh, it's only a tool that's going to help you maybe amplify what you're already doing. It's going to help you save time, but also help you amplify your message. Whatever it is going to help you do that faster and efficiently. And oftentimes, you might have, you know, this is a common problem with a lot of entrepreneurs. They want to do a certain thing, but when they want to delegate this to someone else, it gets lost in translation. Perhaps the quality of the work is not as great. Perhaps they don't have the same drive or the same message. So oftentimes, so when you're working with AI solutions, you have to think about how you can not only save your time but also eventually move out of the picture. So you can maybe give like a small prompt, right? That is the goal, is like you give a small prompt, but the agent or assistant understands you so well that it basically does all the tasks that needs to be done, whether it's social media posting, whether it's creating podcasts, blogs, all that it does it on the fly. You just say two words. It's almost like talking to like this employee that's been working for you for a decade or whatnot. They just know you to that extent. So that is the goal, and eventually we will have that, and we are all working towards creating this system for all of us. So that is going to be the most important skill. Understand, my friend, time management skills and ability to prioritize. Okay, so if you can prioritize and manage your time well, and look, AI revolution is here to stay. I don't have, I don't think I'm the first person to tell you that. I'm pretty sure you've heard this from a lot of people. So we are all invested in this space. So, but we all understand that time management is the most important thing. And the reason why I'm actually, you might be wondering, hey, MTS, why are you doing the live stream? Why are you talking? Because I honestly think this is the core problem we all face. And I have this, this is a challenge that I face too. But if there was anything that you got out of this, you know, talk, then that is to use AI as much as possible and save your time. Okay, so that's the core message. But uh, yeah, I mean, again, it's it is a big challenge. It's You're not the only one. All right. So, anyways, we're not we don't have too much topics in this talk, but we'll come back again next week. We tested Sunday. I believe Sunday. We're gonna try another day next time to do the live streams. We might do later in the day during the weekdays, but yeah, I'm thinking what would be a great way to also use the live stream to basically do generate more engaging content. So later on, I'm going to use more of the voice assistant to help me kind of structure these podcasts or these live streams. Uh, but yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.